Thanks for staying with us at STL Live. I'm Andy Ruzicka. Again, my guests are co-host and director of STEM Entrepreneurial Inclusion BioSTL, Dr. Cheryl Watkins-Moore, and co-host and president and CEO of Purpose First Advisors, Christy Maxfield. We're learning about this podcast, and we're talking a bit about who you're trying to reach. Can you tell me about your base audience and who you set out to reach and who your podcast is still reaching?
Christy.
Yeah. When Jade said you had to do a podcast, what she knew is that, like Cheryl said, we could only reach so many people in face-to-face events, and that one of the barriers to entry to entrepreneurship is feeling like you belong. And BioSTL operates out of the Cortex district, as does the Center for Emerging Technologies, and that can be really intimidating to people. So our goal was to reach people who would never think that CET, BioSTL, or Cortex was their thing. And really talk to them about what is entrepreneurship.
Because most people that we talk to, they're women, they're people of color, they are immigrant populations, they don't see themselves, that term entrepreneur, they don't see themselves in that terminology. Most people think of an entrepreneur like Mark Zuckerberg, and they always think, that's not me, I can't do that. And we put this podcast on to really show there are different people from different walks of life. They have started businesses, they might have a side hustle, they might have something that they're doing in between, but these are all folks doing and walking the entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah. Most of the people we interview don't call themselves entrepreneurs.
No. And so they're listening, and then they pick up on it, and then suddenly kind of they decide to take that jump.
Well, one of the things about being an entrepreneur is it can be really lonely, because most of the people in your life said, you got a good education, you've got a good job, why would you mess that up by going to do this really risky thing all on your own, right? Like we've both, all of us, if you've done entrepreneurship, somebody has said to you, why?
Right.
Somebody you love and really respect has said, why would you do this?
Why are you doing this?
And it's the thing that's waking you up at night. It's the thing that's motivating you in the morning to get through your day so you can work on it in the evening. And you need to find other people like that to feel inspired. And one of the interesting things we know about our listeners is that, unlike many podcasts, we tend to have a slightly higher percentage of people listening on their desktop, which we think tells us they're listening during the workday for inspiration. And they're looking to find out, how did you do it? How did you make the leap? And why did you make the leap? And what were all the scary things you encountered? Because I'm scared out of my mind, and I need somebody else to help me figure this out.
I was going to say, Christy and I came to entrepreneurship through different routes. I mean, we're both entrepreneurs, and this is venture number, 3 for you?
Yeah.
And mine is venture number, I'm on my 3rd venture as well. Yeah. But, you can come to it very circuitous, and it's okay, whatever you're doing. Even if it doesn't work out, you've learned something. Yeah. That you can move on and apply that to something else that you want to do.
And 151 shows now.
Yeah.
It's a week later, and we release a new show every week. So.
Any of those guests stick out to you, or have you learned something through all of them, maybe share the same kind of mindset or something?
A lot of the ones, the last year, so we do 52 shows a year, and so in the last year, I've been struck by the number of people we've interviewed who've said, I took a break. Like, I actually gave myself 3 months to work on my business plan, or to really dive deep into what I'm good at and what I should be doing and how I should be building this business. Some of them even talked about using formal tests and assessment to figure out where their strengths were lying. And for us, it's always really encouraging, because we train entrepreneurs in addition to being entrepreneurs, is when folks tell us, I planned, I tested, I went out and talked to customers.
That's the biggest thing.
When they tell us they talk to customers.
Talk to a customer? Yeah. That's great.
We found a program. Maybe they got connected with Balsa Foundation or the Center for Emerging Technologies, or any of the other programs that are in our community that are built to support people who want to start businesses.
And I think what's so cool is that you would never know the numbers and the types of businesses people are starting. it was funny because when we first started off doing the podcast, I was surely thinking we're going to run out of people. But it's
We are not
like
running
we
out of
have not run out of
In fact, I think the numbers are growing exponentially.
Yes,
and
yes.
that's what the research says, but
Yes.
that's what our experience
Yes.
says too.
That's
Yes,
excellent
we've made
news.
some incredible, I mean, just from folks, we've had the CIO of Monsanto on,
Yeah.
talking about what they're doing inside of their organization that's very different, and it was artificial intelligence. You know, from an academician who's talking about entrepreneurship. So
To folks who really just decided there was
Yeah.
something else besides their day job that they really wanted to explore.
yeah,
Well, that's such good stuff, and I hope a lot of people take on to this
Yeah.
podcast. Unfortunately, we're out of time on our conversation. We'll do this on the podcast later on.
Excellent. We have
I'll be
much more
on.
time there.
We'll finish this conversation.
Absolutely.
But, Entrepreneurially Thinking has created a podcast that elevates and celebrates the entrepreneurial mindset of women and men. You can listen to their podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, Speaker, iHeart, or at entrepreneuriallythinking.com. There's more STL Live after this. Don't go anywhere.